2, 1, ignition, and liftoff. Go Falcon, go Dragon, and go CRS-34.
And liftoff. NASA's SpaceX 34 commercial resupply services mission carrying over 6,500 pounds of cargo and supplies is on its way to the International Space Station.
Everything is looking good on board Falcon 9 and with our Dragon spacecraft. We heard those call-outs from Mission Control that the rocket is pitching downrange and that all 9 Merlin
telemetry nominal
engines continue to perform well. We're just about to throttle down the engines to prepare for max Q, the point of maximum aerodynamic pressure during ascent. Max Q happens when the combination of speed
Falcon 9 is supersonic
and air pressure put the greatest stress on the vehicle. And with that call out from Mission Control, we know that Falcon 9 is moving faster than the speed of sound.
Max Q.
There's that call out for Max Q. Now coming up, there are going to be several major events that happen back to back really quickly. Main engine cutoff, stage separation, first stage flip, second engine start, and boost back burn start. Main engine cutoff will likely be called out as MECO. That's when all 9 engines on the first stage shut down. That'll be followed by stage
MVAC chill.
There's that call out for MVAC chill on board the second stage. Of course, before we can start the second stage, we do have to separate those 2 stages. The first and second stage will be separated and pushed apart from one another when we hear the call out for stage sep. Then the first stage will flip around using small thrusters so it can head back to Earth. A few seconds later, we'll light that second stage MVAC engine and continue pushing Dragon to orbit. After all of that is done, the first stage will perform its boost back burn to steer itself back toward the landing site.
Main engine cutoff. Stage separation confirmed. MVAC startup.
MVAC startup.
Great views on your screen there as you heard and hopefully saw all of those key events taking place. Main engine cutoff, stage separation, stage 1 flip, which is happening on the left-hand side of your screen, second engine start on the right-hand side of your screen, and the beginning of our boost back burn. Now coming up shortly, we should hear the call out for completion of the boost back burn on the first stage. This burn helps to steer the booster back toward the landing site and is the first of 3 burns the first stage performs on its return to LZ-40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. We are expecting that call out in just about 5 seconds.
Stage 1 boost back shutdown. And once again, thank you for joining us as you continue to follow along with NASA's SpaceX 34th Commercial Resupply Services mission. Now 3 minutes and a little more than a half into today's flight. Takes about 9.5 minutes to get into orbit and all set as Dragon on the right-hand side with that Merlin MVAC engine on the right. Continue its chase to the orbiting laboratory, and there you can see that stage 1 making its return back to Earth on the left-hand side. We had an on-time liftoff at 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time from Space Launch Complex 40 in Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. Now, in order to make the left side, stage 1, make its return back to Earth, a couple things have to happen. 2 more burns to execute. The entry burn, where 3 of the Merlin engines will reignite, and this helps slow the stage down as it re-enters the upper part of Earth's atmosphere. And following the entry burn, the booster will go through its landing burn. And this is a single-engine burn that brings the vehicle speed down rapidly in order to land back on Earth. And we should be hearing those call-outs for that entry burn in just a couple of moments from now.
That's right, Joseph. We are standing by for our entry burn, which we're expecting to begin at about T plus 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Now, during that entry burn, Falcon 9 is decelerating by firing its Merlin engines, but the vehicle is still moving really fast. This causes it to fly through Merlin's exhaust gases, which are also known as the rocket's plume. That deposits a layer of soot on the vehicle's surface, which is why our flight-proven rockets look the way that they do. The soot comes from the carbon-based fuel that Falcon 9 uses, and which, with each flight, that soot builds up a little more on the outside of the vehicle. We also heard that call out from Mission Control just a few moments ago that both vehicles are on nominal trajectories. You can follow the trajectories along at home in the bottom corners of your screen. We have stage 1 on the left and stage 2 on the right.
Now 5.5 minutes into flight. There's still a few more moments to go as we continue to follow along the path of NASA's SpaceX CRS-34 commercial resupply services mission. And there you can see a great view of stage 1 on the left-hand side. The grid fins that Ronnie brought up earlier in the broadcast just ahead of launch. Falcon 9 is equipped with 4 hypersonic grid fins, which are positioned near the top of the first stage and are used for steering as it returns to Earth. As you heard the start of that entry burn for the first stage. And those grid fins are a critical part of Falcon 9's reusability system. So entry burn just completed as it's shut down. Now we'll look for that landing burn as it continues to make its return back to Earth, and it will begin its descent to landing zone 40 today. And on the right-hand side, continuing to track the path of the second stage, in which the Dragon cargo spacecraft on top of that second stage making its way into orbit. Now 6.5 minutes into today's flight. Now again, moments away from entry burn, we should see the stage 1 light back up as it will rapidly decelerate in preparation for landing at landing zone 40.
Stage 1 FTS safe.
And milestones continuing to check off for the stage 1 as it makes its return back to Earth. And we'll keep an ear out for that entry burn, startup and entry burn shutdown.
Stage 1 landing burn.
We should get some great visuals off the... So landing burn now underway, and that's the single engine that slows down stage 1 rapidly ahead of touching down back on Earth off the Florida coastline.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And great visualizations there as stage 1 has successfully returned back to landing zone 40. That's now 7.5 minutes into today's
My colleagues behind me, that is another successful landing of our Falcon 9 rocket. This was the 6th launch and landing for this first stage. Now, coming up in just over 30 seconds, we should hear a call out for second engine cutoff 1, or SECO 1, which is when the MVAC engine on board the second stage shuts down. That'll conclude the roughly 6-minute burn by this engine needed to get Dragon into the proper orbit to align with the International Space Station.
Stage 2 FTS safe. Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Just about 10 seconds until we should hear that SECO 1 call.
MVAC shutdown.
And then there's confirmation of MVAC shutdown on board our second stage. Now we are just standing by for confirmation of a good orbital insertion.
Stage 2 nominal orbit insertion.